Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Sports Ultras live here on 3FM 92.7. My name is Ori Kwampofo, and you know how we do it. I'm seated here with the squad to review the weekend's action, discussing the major and trendy topics, and we'll be digging straight into it right after this. So welcome back. You're still live here on Sports Ultras. It's a good time to introduce my guest here in the studio with me, and there's Bilishen Mutala Yakubu, and then there's Augustine as well. Akosia is also on standby to join us, and so it's a full house here to look at what has been an action-packed weekend. Quite a lot to unravel. Good evening, guys, and welcome to Sports Ultras.
Good evening.
I think maybe before Akosia comes here, Augustine, you can move to the and then
so that I take this
yes,
one.
and so let me so if you could just move here, so our Facebook live stream will get a very nice portrait of you when you are firing the GFA. So Augustine should move here a bit. Yes, very good. I like the formation. Three back.
We are here.
Three back like Amorim's three back.
We are here.
No. This one is Yoro.
No, I don't want Yoro. I don't want Maguire.
Mutala Maguire.
The licked.
Oh, I don't want Licha.
Oh, for what? Dabucha. Ishabuta.
How's your weekend, guys? How are you?
Please. Ateta, I need a striker. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Oh,
that's my weekend.
Augustine, can't you suggest a GPL striker? You just need some 20,000 euros.
So there's a striker who celebrates like this.
Kwame Poku.
Of course.
Are you saying Kwame Poku
It's
is
better
the
than
solution?
Gabriel Jesus.
So he's the solution to Arsenal's problems.
Of course, if he comes to the English Premier League game, matching like game in, game out, every day he goes.
But have you imagined Kwame Poku with Odegaard, Merino behind him? The kind of goals he's going to score.
Charlie,
With the right service. Kwame Poku is a lethal striker. He just needs the services.
So are you guys saying that if Arsenal sign Kwame Poku this January, they will win the league?
He will do well better than Kai Havertz, and they can win the league with him. Because Arsenal needs someone to bang in the goals for them. Charlie, Kwame Poku's quality, you don't see the guy is quality enough.
You go recommend and give Black Stars.
Now, our next AFCON World Cup qualifiers. Really, you can't look past Kwame Poku. You can't look past Kwame Poku because it looks like Antoine Semenyo plays his best football in Bournemouth. But we have somebody who is a fan favorite at the Barbara Stadium. And against Chad, with Kwame Poku wearing the number 9 jersey, we'll take it from whoever is wearing it. We can easily count on him. Like this.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the show. It's good to have you here. A lot to talk about, actually. But we'll be starting off with our dear Black Stars because for some reason they do not seem to go away when it comes to the news. They always find a way of coming back. And what we now know is that there's a new Black Stars committee, management committee. And so for the benefit of our listeners and then our viewers on Facebook, let me just go through the communique which was released by the FA just about a few hours ago, yesterday. And Randy Abe, that's Dr. Randy Abe, would be the chairman of the Black Stars Management Committee. Remember that he serves as an executive council member of the GFA already, and so now he would be leading, the engagements with government, stakeholders, and all of that. And then Stephen Appiah would be the vice chairman of the group. He will support Dr. Randy Abe. Other members include Dr. Samuel Abuabri and chairman of the Greater Accra Regional Football Association. And then there's the executive council member of the GFA, that's Moses Ama, who's the president, and then of Mediama. And then there's Richard Incentre, who is of Summer Text as well. And I think that should be it, right?
Five members,
I've not let anyone out. And so these are the 5 people. So the committee shall let me go through what the committee is supposed to do.
Okay.
Yes, before I don't want it to be like negative.
Yeah.
So the management committee of the Black Stars, The duties include overall effective management and setting the strategic plan and activities of the Black Stars. Serving as the link, I repeat, the link between the technical team and the Ghana Football Association, ensuring that there's adequate camping arrangements, they are providing logistical support, and paying regular visits to the team in camp. The committee shall, in consultation with the head coach and technical team, prepare and ensure the team's adherence to activity schedules for all matches and tournaments. Now, they would also be responsible for following up on the release of funds for team operations from the ministry to ensure that there's traveling arrangement and all of that. Furthermore, they will ensure that there's appropriate policies and procedures are put in place for effective management. It's basically the same thing that we're hearing. And so
I would love if you state the tax for each of these members of the committee, because that is very important. People have been asking me, what is this one doing on the committee, what is that one doing, and it was stated in there, if you can find that.
Okay, so Dr. Randiabe is tasked, he's the chairman, he's tasked with overseeing the administrative and logistical aspects of the team. Why is someone laughing?
Why is he
laughing?
Okay.
No, I'm happy with giving such a tax to,
so
a man of his caliber.
Administrative. Okay.
Yeah.
So you go on.
Okay. And then we have Stephen Appiah. He will support Dr. Abe while also focusing on player relations. PR.
Player relation.
This one is not public relations, so it's PR.
No problem.
PR in the sense of Blaster. So, how the players are relating in camp, all of that. Whether we have to go and call some player from outside, I'm assuming PR will do that.
Okay.
And then other members would be, so there's, I think Mr. Samuel Abobi and Moses Amade would be in charge of operations and match the activities.
Okay.
So more or less like activation for sponsorships and all of that. And Mr. Richard Nsentry, he would do the partners. So he would.
He's for special
duties.
I don't understand what the special duties.
I'm coming.
Why do you want to understand special duties?
I want to understand.
I'm sure.
Is a member responsible for special duties?
Special duties.
Duties that are special.
That is what everyone is asking. What is the special?
Yeah, I don't understand what that is. But
you left something out with Randy Abbey, and that is crucial. In charge of administrative, and also there's a link to government. There's something government there. I don't know if you left that out.
In addition to chairing the committee, Dr. Abe shall lead engagement with government and other stakeholders.
I see. Wait. They've listed rules. So isn't this basically what the team manager does?
I was about to go there. That will there also get a team manager after this.
Oreku, let's be serious. Isn't this, all of these would encompass what a team manager would do plus more? So why is there a team manager of the Black Stars if a management committee, in fact the name itself gives them away, management committee of the Black Stars, which has rules of team manager plus more? So why do we have a team manager in the team?
I am not really surprised because we have a communications department at the FA, and we have someone who's in charge of PR and strategy whose role conflicts with what the communications department does. I mean, maybe it's division of labor.
No, this one, no. See, what I think is, right, the team manager should be a part of this committee. Should be a part. If you are going to have this committee, the team manager automatically has to be part of this. And the way they are saying Stephen Appiah is for player relations, it's giving me the sense that he's now going to serve as the team manager. I would ask, is Aminu Shadow still going to be team manager of the Black Stars? What is his role now?
Can you wait till March?
He's still acting in that capacity.
I have to ask because I mean the stating of the rules is giving me the sense that our dear friend Aminu Shadow's rule might be redundant. Unless there's a different explanation to what he's going to do in camp. Because basically all of the things that relate to the Black Stars, logistic, whatever, is in the management committee.
Yeah, but we've had a management committee in place and still have the team manager. But with that, roles were not stated. But this one, roles are very clear. And clearly, you can see whatever the team manager does in most of the things that would be happening, especially with Steve Pierre's role, where he would be, he would relate with the players. He would be the direct link between the players and maybe the rest of the management. So it's like he's acting as the TM. Yeah. So for now, we don't know whether Aminu Shadow will continue in that same breath. But it looks like Steve Pierre's role, if you look at it critically, it's like a team manager. First, he was a coordinator. Remember, he's been a coordinator for the national team before. He was a coordinator where the role was stated clearly that he's going to be the link between the players and the citizens. He's going to be like the one that bridges that gap in there. But this one, he's acting like a TM. So we don't know what Aminu Shadow would be doing exactly. But let's see.
Is it going to be part of the reports of the coaching reshuffling that we are hearing? Technical team.
No, we'll come to that.
Okay.
We'll come to that. But my major concern is that why do we need a Black Stars management committee? I'm saying need because we're in a country where we need to understand that resources for sport are limited.
Yeah, facts.
Not to even mention just football, not to even mention Black Stars.
Yes.
Obviously, these people on the committee have to get some form of remuneration and incentives as well. Yeah. And I just think that, okay, if you're doing one for Black Stars, are you going to do same for Black Queens?
Yeah,
are you going to do same for under 23 men, under 20 women? And remember, now we've done a national team. There's been under 15. They've broken it down under 16, under 17. A number of national teams that we've given coaches to. Are we now going to get management committees for all of them?
I think we have one for the under 23, the one that actually leaves. I
just believe that I'm not against this. If you want to separate the GFA from the Black Stars, you don't want to overly exert yourself on it, then set up this committee for our national teams, all of them.
Yeah.
But how many times does the Black Stars play in a year?
Yeah.
This year, for instance, there are 4 or 5 international breaks, and then that's it.
Yeah, they'll play like 6 matches that at least we know of.
Yeah, so maybe they're not going for the AFCON. So I think maybe 3 or 4 international. There's one in March.
Yeah.
There's one in August, September, and I think October. So max 3, 4.
Yeah.
So after that, one next, or even in those 3, and then that's it. Because there are people that are supposed to do major operations.
Yeah.
So if we play just 6 matches in a year, is that all? Yeah. That's not enough to be on a committee.
Yeah. It has to be.
It has to be more. If that is your, and you see, I've always had this concern about how in Ghana we seem to give jobs to people who already have jobs. Sebi. Dr. Randiabe, I assume that this is not going to be the main road that he gets.
No.
If he used to get another role in future, there's someone who is president of his own club, Mediama.
I remember he's an executive council member as well.
We are putting so much pressure on the same type of people. So let's say there's a Black Stars match coming and there's something to sort at Mediama. Ideally, if you are the president of Mediama Club and you're serving on the Black Stars management committee, which you know is not forever, where would your interest be? Where would you devote your biggest strength to?
Mediama is his property.
Yeah, so you would have to invest. So I also have another problem with the fact that everyone in there has something else to focus on. If you are given, that's why I'm saying that the Black Stars is not enough for this. Because if you give the whole national teams to someone, then you know that that's fit enough to be a job.
Yes, it's
an actual job.
Who are not just
that you can actually pay salaries for. Yeah.
Because it's not enough.
Said these are individuals who are not just experienced, but they are passionate about Ghana football, and their passion would lead the Black Stars back to their best.
How?
Well, you can. This is not the first time Moses Parker of Mediama is serving on the Black Stars Management Committee. 2014, he was the one that had issues with Sule Muntari.
Yeah, I remember.
The famous Muntari scaffold income. It was between Muntari and Moses Parker. So he has experience in that breadth. Maybe how he fared in the first time, he has learned a lot of lessons from there, and he might do things differently. Inconsistencies has been around not too long when it comes to the highest level of football, even though he's been in Division 1, but he's overseen a team that has won the Ghana Premier League. So you can say that he has passion for football. He's in there. Randy Abbey, we all know him. He's a household name when it comes to our football. Communications director for FA. He served on different boards.
Heart of Lions.
But currently he's on the executive council, so he has experience in there. Samuel Abuebre, for those of us who have done a lot of coach football and all that, we know him because he's done a lot of grassroots football in this country. He's been one of the main pillars when it comes to those who stood for grassroots football. So he also has experience in that breadth. I'm just looking at the roles. Stephen Appiah, he's my the most important person for me in here, because I look at the Black Stars and I find a lot of players, individual players who are coming from different backgrounds. There seems not to be some form of harmony in the team. I don't know. That is how I perceive the Black Stars from outside. This current Black Star, I feel there's not much team culture. The players are not united. There's that lack of patriotism. That sense of patriotism is missing. And if you have one man who can actually, in this country, if I take Abedi Pele out, if you are somebody that can really stand in front of these players and tell them that, hey, I have been here before, I expect you to do better, I expect you to play with a lot more zeal and urgency, it is Stephen Appiah. Because in recent times, I am not too old, I am just 32, but in recent times, with all the captains I've seen at the Black Stars, I think Appiah commanded the highest or the biggest form of respect. And he still does. I've seen Stephen Appiah walk into a room full of superstars and everybody stood up to show a sign of respect. So if Stephen Appiah's role is very critical for me with what we are going through. Stories popping up, someone taking the number 10 JC, others are not happy, people are being sabotaged. I need Stephen Appiah to be at the center of all this.
But then I'm asking, what is the capacity of Appiah? Because if I'm Otuado and I say I want to give Kudus number 10, what can you management committee?
So I am not.
That's what I'm saying. That I just want to add to this. That we're just adding to the number of voices in the team.
Yeah.
We already have it. If you go for a major tournament and you go to the Black Stars Team Hotel, there's just 5 extra people who are now going to get access to the team.
There are a lot more around.
I just don't get why there are so many voices in and around the team. I'm not against this in particular, but I'm just wondering. So there's the GFA, there's the Executive Council, and then there's the Management Committee. You know, you're saying that the Management Committee is supposed to serve as the link between technical team and GFA. Why the technical team can't they call the GFA? What link? So if Otto wants to say, I need to camp in Saudi Arabia before the World Cup, can't Otto just explain to the GFA? I don't know. So that's
he has to go through the management.
So he has to go through Randy Abbey,
and Randy would also have to discuss with the committee, with Otto in there before Randy relays the information to.
Can someone explain to me this line of check of balance? Okay, what does it really achieve?
I asked someone.
How is it critical?
I asked someone from the FA, and he tells me that the Black Stars is huge, and that they don't want a situation where the FA president is burdened with the job of overseeing what happens at the Black Stars. So he needs people to manage the Black Stars to get the best out of them. So these people would always be in meetings with the Otos and the John Pentels, and they will relay the information to the highest body or the highest hierarchy. That is the FA and the vice. So
another problem that I would want to highlight, we haven't talked about it. Randy is linked to Pando Heart of Lions. Inconsistencies is linked to Samatex. Most Parker is linked to Mediama. If a Mediama person, a Samatex person, and a Pando Heart of Lions person somehow get into the team, people will start talking. People will talk. People will say that influence is coming from this side.
And you want to avoid that?
Yes.
And in recent times, we've had players from almost all these teams in the Black Stars.
Yes.
Beneza Aban from Heart of Lions. We've had Kamaradini from Mediema. Afo from Samatex as well. So we've had players from all these teams in the Black Stars.
It is just going to be. It might just be chaotic at this stage. It might just be chaotic. The harmony probably won't be there. Again, I mean, leadership thing. I mean, who is going to, as you mentioned, who is going to tell Otto to not change leadership?
Yeah, I just want to understand because you see, Otto is already listening to his assistant.
Yes,
he's listening to his technical. Now they say they're bringing technical advisor. He's listening to technical advisor. He's listening to video analyst.
Another technical advisor coming in.
You will get it. You will get it. And I just don't want there to be too many voices. Too many voices in the national team. It's good when it's just one streamline. If you want someone to link FA and GFA and technical team, I think you need just one person.
Again, a theory. They don't trust Otto like that. That is what I will believe at this point.
So if you don't trust Otto, we'll bring in a management committee, like make you trust Otto or solve their problems.
No, what I feel right now is you don't trust the coach enough to be his own man and make decisions that will help the team. That is why you brought a management committee to manage the Black Stars, which would include the coach. Because whatever the case, if the coach submits a list, it will pass through them. They will question it. That means you guys don't trust the judgment of the coach.
A management committee would always have to chip in their inputs. You can never go past them. They can suggest, but if you insist, then it goes to the highest body, the one above them. That is the GFA president, Mercado, and the rest. But the management committee would always have their input, and their duties are spelled out clearly, unless they are going beyond what was stated.
No, but Oreku, I want to go back to the duties. The GRFA chairman, what is the duty?
Who?
The GRFA chairman.
Is that Abuebri or which one?
Someone Abuebri. Operations.
Operations.
Okay.
And match day, I think operations and match day, something like that.
Okay, so if...
so here's operations and match day activities whilst ensuring that the interests of sponsors, partners, and other collaborators are well taken care of.
Moses Parker will be doing that job.
So we know Abuebri to be someone who deals with talent.
Yeah,
grassroots football. And his duty, what in Abuebri corresponds to what they are giving him to do?
So are you trying to say that he's been shoehorned into it, that they just wanted to add him, so they've added him because it doesn't speak to his strength?
Yes, because when I heard Abuebri, I was actually thinking he was going to be given something related to local football.
So with the kind of operations that I know, with the kind of operations I understand, Abuebri fits in that role perfectly because I've seen him do a lot of operations for the GFA, especially for the GFA when it comes to elections and stuff. And he also served on one of, I think, the under-20, one of the committees for the under-20. He was serving on it. So when it comes to, with the operations I know, if that is what he's going to do, then he fits the bill very well. And from what I have inquired about, the operations has to do with, match day, going for media, doing media tours and arranging interviews.
Yeah, but so what happens to the beefed up communication team? That's what I don't understand. I feel like a lot of these things are not necessary.
So they will spread them.
The GFA just employed, I think, was it last year? They employed like 4 or 5 other people to add to the communications team.
Patrick Akoto and
there's a marketing team.
There is,
maybe I'm just overthinking it. But I just think
we're just hoping this would work. We're just hoping this would work. And the beautiful thing about Ghanaians is that if it works, nobody would care about Randy Abbey taking 100,000. If it works,
I will care. When they went to the World Cup and they justified, I cared.
They will care when we don't qualify for the World Cup.
I cared.
But if we qualify,
even if you qualify for World Cup, you don't deserve 100,000.
No, we qualified and we still cared.
You don't deserve $100,000 if you qualify. I'm sorry.
But we always forget when it's in our faces. We forget about. We've had the management committee which had a large cruiser on it.
Yeah.
You remember we've had the management committee. The last World Cup,
when I went to Salisu,
of course, and it became an issue. Charlie, well, let's see how it goes. We're just hoping. I'm looking at Steven Appiah's role critical.
Yeah,
because of the disharmony I feel is within the Black Stars. I want him to bring the players together. And with what I've seen from Appiah during his playing days with the Black Stars, how he was able to unite the boys. There were some big egos in the Black Stars back then. A dressing room of Sule Muntari, like Kingston, Michael Essien, John Pinto, John Mensah, Asamoah Gyan was even a youngster then. Richard Kingston,
Matthew Amoah.
I mean, they've had Baba Amandu. They've had some big names in the Black Stars, but he was able to manage them. And if you speak to all these ex-players, the ACNs, the Muntaris, they will tell you that Xavier Pierre's leadership was superb. He was able to bring all of them together. They understood that we are fighting for a common goal. So we just have to stick together. I don't see that in the current Black Stars. He can be that voice in there to speak to these boys, to get them to play in at their best. Because I don't think these boys are bad. The Semenyos, they are not bad.
Nobody thinks so.
No,
you think they are not bad.
Yeah.
But the one in charge of the team is saying we don't have good players.
Man, I know.
On that note,
I don't want to talk.
On that note, let's head into that discussion.
Okay.
Otuado is, as we mentioned a few months ago here on T-Sports, that he's set to keep his job. Yeah. Some people try to dispute us and all of that, but we know the info. We know the info. Otuado is here to stay. So Otto is definitely going to be head coach. Okay. And what's been going around now is that his set of assistants, people around him, would be changed, because in that long report that he submitted to the FA, he mentioned, the need for maybe stronger technical hands to help him. And so the FA are looking at adding a technical advisor, bringing in a new video analyst, and then bringing in assistant coaches to be able to beef it up. And so we'll see how it goes. But let's just get your general thoughts on the reported move, because he has not been confirmed. Nobody wants to talk.
I'll talk. I'll talk.
Go talk.
Yeah.
Go talk.
Oh yeah, I stated for the longest that Joseph Lomano, I stated a wasa. I've been saying it. I've been saying it for the longest. Say wasa onyadi. I didn't understand why he was even picked as assistant in the first place. So if he's going, thank God he's going. John Pencil. See, we've not seen John Pencil actually coach a Ghana Premier League team safe.
Before you go on, Bill, I would want you to be careful, because we don't want to go to court and
Charlie,
especially on Pencil. So you go on.
But he's speaking the facts.
No. I want you to go on.
Defaming John Pencil. He's only stating the facts.
But I'm only preempting him. He hasn't started on Pencil. I'm just giving him a warning.
Why you foresee him in there?
No.
Sorry with the Bible.
You have to be careful. Because if I don't straighten Bill's head and he turns around, he can become a pillar of salt.
The funny thing, we all be in the court as witnesses. I don't want to enter that room.
Yes, I understand what he's saying. So I won't go there.
So
I'm just going to talk about the job itself.
So good disclaimer there. I mean, he can continue.
Thank you for the disclaimer. But I'm talking about the job itself. I'm personally not seeing John Pencil manage a top club in the Ghana Premier League to even get a consideration to be an assistant coach of the Black Stars. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No.
Have you seen it? I have not. So even I was surprised when he was put in that role. Of course, I wanted him to succeed, because as a player, he was fantastic for the Black Stars.
Are we sure?
Oh, yeah, dear. No, yeah, dear.
Don't mind me.
Oh, fullback, no, yeah, dear. 2010 World Cup, he was part of our heroes.
Yeah.
But what we have seen in terms of results, in terms of coaching, I don't trust him enough to stay on as an assistant coach of the Black Stars. So if he's going, fine. Maybe he can take some time, go and coach clubs, boost himself, boost, his kind of CV and all of that, and maybe come back later, right, and coach, and that would be fine. I mean, I don't mind. Those two I've always said. But my problem here is, in all my years as a football fan plus journalist, if there is going to be change of technical team, there's always the first to fall. The first is always the head coach. In a number of cases, we see the head coach go and the assistant stay. Manchester United, for example, at some point sacked David Moyes. Michael Carrick was still in the dressing room as the assistant for a new head coach to come, for him to liaise with the head coach, and then later he stepped aside. We saw that. I've never ever in my life seen a case where assistants are sacked before head coach, or assistants are sacked and then the head coach stays.
Maybe it's a caution to the head coach.
Hey.
No, it's the first of its kind. Though.
Caution in what
Yes,
sense?
yes.
It's
In
the
what
first
sense?
of its kind.
Me, I've not seen it. I've not seen it. And I find it confusing. Isn't the coach the one who makes the most decisions? Isn't he the leader of the technical team? Isn't he the one who sets up? Or are they trying to tell us that Joseph Lawman and John Pinso are the ones who set the 11?
Or Bill, is it that the head coach has told the management that those two assistants are not good enough, so bring me new ones? Because it's a bit confusing.
Who brought those assistants?
For
Who
me,
brought them?
Okay, so from what I know Joseph Loman came at the recommendation of Otuado. For John Pinto. I have no idea.
See,
I have no idea.
Thank you.
see,
That is what I know.
Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to hear because I know Otto brought Loman.
Yeah,
then
Loman.
Otto- then
But for
what's
Pinto,
Otto-
I have no idea.
If I bring you assistants to come and help me do the job, and I'm not able to do the job, and I tell you that, Charlie, sack the assistants. they are not good enough. What does it even say about me? If even not taking into consideration the results, by doing that, I think I deserve the sack because you gave me the power.
It means your judgment is bad.
Yeah, you gave me the power to bring someone that I think will complement me. So by getting that wrong, if I'm sacking that person, you need to sack me, being Otuado as well. But then again, it's coming from an FA that doesn't surprise me much. They named Chris Hughton as technical advisor, all in a move just to make him head coach later. So I'm not surprised by this move. They know how to shield their own. They take this FA, you think you are smarter than they are thinking 2-3 years ahead of you. Sometimes they're even 3 steps. That Chris Hughton move made me realize that this FA, they are thinking months ahead.
And I feel
they knew Otto won't stay after that walk.
Of course.
And that's why they just put Chris there just to put him in. And you see, this bringing Otto, by not sacking him after this year, last year, the 2024 that we had, it's just to show you that they've gone 2-3 years ahead and what they've seen, they cannot sack Otto.
Yeah.
Because you cannot tell me that the Black Stars don't qualify for an AFCON. And you keep that coach who comes to tell you that the assistant that I chose is not good enough, so bring me another one.
Okay.
And you keep me. What precedent does he even set for people outside looking? This is a Black Stars that whenever the players come, they cannot even pass a ball. But the moment they go back to their team, I don't even have to mention names. They are all scoring. You look at the. You cannot give me an excuse.
You brought my mind to something.
You cannot
so what was the conversation between Otto and the FA? That assistant Namidi ba Onyadio, human is or the FA realized from their own observation that the assistant is not good. Like it doesn't really add up. Or per the reports that Otuado submitted, that 50 something pages, he wrote in the report that the two assistants.
He wrote in the report that when things are difficult and you think
I can't because what Oreku is saying is real.
So you
called for you actually told the FA to bring you Luman.
Yeah.
For John Pinto, I don't want to go there. So how come Luman is leaving and you that told the FA to bring you this specific person is still there? It means your judgment is even wrong in the first place.
And you see, now they are going to go back to that same structure. They're going to bring a technical advisor. So that technical advisor coming to lead the team. Did the technical advisor tell you that I want Otto to be the coach?
Exactly. He might have a totally different
you're bringing a technical advisor supposed to oversee how the team is supposed to play, look, feel.
You have an idea who is coming in?
Not really, but the last time that I had conversations, it was someone from Europe, specifically around Belgium. No, they didn't even mention names.
But
they're still searching.
He's the godfather of Gengen pressing.
They're still searching. It's likely to be someone from Belgium or a European country.
Belgium, Serbia,
those type of countries. But the point is that has that guy told you that Otto is the man that I want? Because the technical advisor is supposed to choose the team below him. If the technical advisor is the guy between the coaches, so now let's go back to management committee.
Exactly.
What's the structure now? So there's technical team led by the technical advisor. So if Otto wants something, he goes to technical advisor, and the technical advisor will go to management committee, and the management committee will go to GFA.
Yeah, FA. The FA.
By the time they'll reach that time,
That time we got.
Now we know that all these bureaucracies will be cut short because it's just one phone call.
Just call him. Call him
from the bottom to the top. They will bypass all these bureaucracies. But what you've said is something that we need to pay a critical attention to. How come the man who brought in his own assistant coach is staying, but the assistant is leaving? Is it that the GFA per their own observation, per their own background checks, per their own experiments, have realized that Lohman isn't good enough. Because, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, if I can use that word, to sack the to sack the assistant coach and the head coach remains. In a case where the head coach was the one that brought in Lohman. For John Pinto, I don't want to go there. Right from the word go, when he was made the assistant coach, I told a couple of people that I don't think he has the technical capacity to survive in that space, because we've not seen John Pinto do any big work. The one that we all knew that John would fit in was the Legon City's
the Legon City's
job.
project.
You remember when he was supposed to take the Legon City's job?
They gave it to a
because
foreigner.
he didn't really have the licenses at that time to be the head coach of Legon Cities. That would have exposed him to a lot. Because apart from the JP Academy, where we know he's the brain behind and also the coach, it's like he's not done any job out there for Ghanaians to really see what he brings onto the table. So when he was appointed assistant coach, for me, as Bill said, we all didn't want John Pinto to fail, but we had our doubts because we know John Pinto was a fine footballer, but he's not shown enough to show, say, John Pinto can really do this work. And then Ignacio Fusu can come and sit at the Accra Sports Stadium and cross his leg doing a presser, because Sudan have been able to get the better of Ghana and tell us we didn't even do anything special. We just studied them last time. we didn't do anything special. It was just me and Coach Park, Kwesi Appiah. We just studied them and we saw that the Ghanaian team has lapses. And so it wasn't anything. It's just one of our things. Because he feels your technical team is weak.
It's not good enough. But on that note, Augustine, if we were to bring in a technical advisor and the new set of assistants, presenting something like a fresh beginning, given the promise that Otto shown, especially in the beginning, do you think there's any way back that this team can potentially qualify for the World Cup?
If you bring in new assistant, and a new technical advisor, and then Otto still stays, it's just like being a vehicle, and a vehicle is overspeeding, and you decide to let the mate get off the vehicle, but then the driver still continues. You're bringing a new mate. That the mate was giving the moral support to the driver to overspeed. That is just what we have.
Director, I need to.
No, this can pass for a Hollywood movie. You
have to pick the reaction again.
Let me go again.
This scenario, this example can pass for a Hollywood movie.
Find me a bottle of water.
I never knew Augustine has been a station master before.
The microphone is burning. The microphone, I need some water. Please.
From this?
Repeat yourself. Whilst I look for water.
Okay. So I was saying that it's just like being a vehicle. Let's say you are traveling to Sogakope. You got in a car, and the car is over speeding, going 200. And you say the mate is the one giving the driver moral support to speed. The mate is the one doing so you let the mate get off, get another mate that now the driver will drive carefully. That is what we are doing, because it's not the mate who is stepping on the accelerator. In the Black Stars, it's Otuado who is stepping on the accelerator, who is stepping on the brakes. Or the technical advisor will be like the station master. You call station master that, station master, the driver will come recover. By the time you realize, and that is what's going to happen to us. Because Otuado is the one just behind the team. If Otuado is failing at it, we can bring in the best technical advisors, and still I don't think the team will still survive.
Just to piggyback off what you said, no matter who assistant coach or technical advisor is, if Pep is head coach, Jose is assistant, his second assistant is Klopp, in the dressing room at halftime when the team is losing, there's only one voice. There's only one person, and in that moment is what the head coach thinks or what he feels that he would say. And so we can continue to avoid the main problem, like you said, and change everything else around him. But we have to remember that the same voice that's going to try and inspire the players, you have to think about these players.
But is that voice even inspiring the players?
Yeah, what do you think is going through their head after the 2024 that we had? And all of them are so disappointed. this same voices come to stand in front of you again and say, "Come on, guys, we can win." They are humans.
It burst my brain.
Yeah, they're not machines.
My brain.
They need to hear a new voice, someone who is coming in with something different. It cannot be this same guy. You tell me that, oh, this same guy has changed small because now there's a different assistant. It's going to be the same auto speaking, and the moment his mouth opens, I'm sure when they hear the same voice, I'll be here we go again.
Here we go.
That's the main reason why we sack main coaches everywhere. Yeah. Because you have to make sure you change that voice. The players need to hear something else. Where would the new manager bounce even be?
In
2016,
when 2015 rather, when Jose Mourinho, his second coming to Chelsea, before he left the club, the technical director of Chelsea at that time, that Nigerian who went to Monaco, I always forget his name, Emiliano, said that they were not sacking Mourinho just because of the results. Yeah. But there was a palpable discourse between himself and the players. The players no longer listen to him. Emiliano says you can enter the dressing room and find Mourinho talking, and the likes of Eden Hazard and they feel that he's not coming to say anything new. It's what he's been saying over time. Let's do this, but it's not working because they were doing it and it wasn't working for some time. They all wanted a fresh start, and Emiliano said at a point some of the players came to his office and told him that they just need they just need to see a new face because they felt Jose Mourinho was saying the same thing over and over again. It's the same with Otuado. Why is everything changing about the Black Stars except that one head that makes the most critical decisions? And he has made decisions that has cost the nation last year. For some people to even say, for him to even sit at the press conference and says that Ghana played the best football, but it was luck that wasn't on our side. My God, you need luck to beat Niger.
Sudan.
You need luck to beat Sudan. There, Otuado should have lost his job, Bill, when he said that we've played the best.
Please have worked on that.
You can't even tell me you've played very good football against Niger,
please,
Sudan, but you commit the same mistakes in all your games. Lack of concentration, lackluster performance, no energy, no zeal. And it runs through the team. So you want to tell me all the 23 players that we've been calling, that we've been seeing week in, week out, play for Bournemouth, play for Leicester City, they are all bad. We want to assume that all our players are bad. Our players are not world class because he himself said it, that our players are not good enough.
And do you know something? All of a sudden, we expect these same players come and play under this same manager and thrive.
You know the ball that...
Like how? This is more difficult than the long division we were solving.
The kind of football Antoine Semenyo is playing at Bournemouth. Otuado didn't play half of that ball when he was playing for Dortmund. When he was a player.
Charlie.
The kind of football that the kind of football Mohamed Kudus is playing at West Ham United. Otuado didn't play half of that ball when he was a player at Dortmund. When he even came into the Black Star, what is his legacy when it comes to the Black Star? Apart from the 2006 World Cup. So you can't tell me these players are not good enough. We see them week in, week out, bust the English Premier League, heckle defenders, play the best of football. They get to the Black Star camp and they are dispirited. They get to the Black Star camp and it's as if they've not played football before. And you want to tell me the single man that has the biggest voice in the dressing room is not the problem, but the two assistants are the problem. Okay, let's go on.
It will just get worse if the two assistants are experts. It will just get worse.
So, Bill, do you think the new assistants coming, Otto is the one going to choose them or the FA? The technical advisor. Well, just paint a picture. What do you think is happening now? Who is choosing who is coming in?
I'm getting the sense that the FA is taking everything by the scruff of the neck. If they are going to pick a technical advisor, then I guess I suspect they would be picking the assistants as well for Otto. And that again will show that they don't have faith in Otto like that.
Yeah, but let him go. But Bill,
they don't have faith.
Bill, you see, if you have a child who doesn't go to school, he doesn't like school, he doesn't want to go to school, and you're buying new bags and new shoes for him, do you think that will convince him?
No. You just
you're just changing accessories around the guy. And you see, the truth is that they cannot afford to sack Otto. And you see, I think then again, let me put out this disclaimer. It's not a fact. This is purely based on what I think. You remember the FA flew all the way to Otto to talk to him.
Yeah.
For him to do. They actually extended the deadline that we were supposed to name the coach by.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, it was reported and speculated that the FA flew to go and talk to Otto about the job.
Yeah.
Only they and Otto know what the conversation is. But if you are smart and intelligent and you realize how they cannot sack him, you will start. You will start. Oh no,
say
me, I don't want to say it. Go to court.
It looks like it looks like there's a job guarantee. It looks like there's a job guarantee.
There's a job security.
There's a job security there that we are not going to sack you. It looks.
Can you guys prove it?
No, that is why.
Where is your document?
That is
Where is your document?
For the first time, the coach placed a qualifier. 6 games.
Look, if you sack, look, let's go back. You sacked Chris Hughton for less.
Yes.
You sacked Milovan Rivas for less.
CK for less.
Sacked CK
on the paper.
No, listen, CK was winning games, so they said the football is not nice.
It's not nice.
He's not playing a ball.
And this one, the football is not nice. So not winning games too.
Wasn't it? Who took us to the AFCON for Milo to come?
Oh, it was him.
It was CK.
CK was going to AFCON.
It was CK.
And they sacked him because the football is not nice.
It's not nice.
It wasn't a ball.
Before him, there was Kwesi Appiah.
Yes.
Kwesi Appiah beating South Africa.
They said it was one goal project.
They said no,
just one goal.
we don't want Kwesi. They sack people for less. So ask yourself, if you are intelligent, using the precedents that I've set, why is it that they cannot sack
you are now sounding like a quiz master. Using the preamble.
Philosophy. You have to think. Only they know what they're talking about.
You have to connect the
Any Otto,
but for them to fly all the way to Germany and have that discussion with him, you know, at the first glance, he didn't want to take the job.
Yeah.
So you can see that flying to Germany, there was a lot of discussion that went in, and you can see that there's some form of job security in there.
Yeah.
That even if it doesn't go well, we'll leave you to do your job. Because Otto Addo was doing well with Dortmund, and he said in one of his interviews that his family is comfortable being in Germany. He's happy working for the club that he played, but he needed to take this job at a point because the pressure was coming, and he needed to come and help. But so clearly, you can see there's some form of security in there.
It's okay. We're done with Otto and Black Stars. I'm sure we'll come back again before March.
Yeah.
But let's head to Europe, and then we'll quickly come to the GPL. Bill, the jersey you're wearing, what is wrong with Aston?
Ateta, I need a striker. We need striker.
Do you think it's just a striker? Because yesterday, for instance, you led by 2. You scored 2 goals. You're leading 2-0.
Yeah.
Do you really think if you bring in a striker, automatically everything changes?
Oh no, it's not automatic, but I think it's one of the key problems with Arsenal. I believe that mentally now, it's a lot of things are just rocking the team. I mean, this is a team that 2 seasons continuously lost to Manchester City in the league, right? 2 seasons continuously. And so it would definitely affect them mentally. I mean, last season was even closer than the previous one. And there wasn't much changes with respect to the transfer market and the kind of quality they brought in. Remember that during the transfer market, Merino was brought in after some couple triple nice games in the Euros. Some small hype and all, we go bring him. Cool. Sterling, who Enzo Maresca said, Massa, you are not part of my squad. We said, yeah, we like Sterling, we will bring him on loan. Cool. The alternative for Martin Odegaard that we knew that at least he can make impact from the bench, Fabio Vieira, we sent him on loan. I don't understand the thinking behind it, but cool. Emil Smith-Rowe, who academy graduates, was part of the core of the team, backbone of the team. When Arteta was on the rise, he was scoring the goals and all of that. He had some injury issues, but there was still you could see that the potential was still there. It wasn't done. You let him go to Fulham. Okay. You signed a goalkeeper who is cap-tied. Goalkeeper who can't be in the FA Cup, who can't be in the Carabao Cup, and you signed him. Let Ramsdale go. That Ramsdale self, Matakam, some assistant was fighting with Arteta over that, and Arteta said, "You have to go." Yeah, you have to go. You can't be in the team because you're coming to question my choice of goalkeepers. The kind of signings and outgoings that they made in that period has shortened the team even further. just this game, Arteta looked to the bench, and the only person that he could bring on that he thought could change the game is a washed Raheem Sterling. Whilst Aston Villa looked at the bench, John Duran was coming, Leon Bailey was coming. I looked at him and said, hey, they can even beat us.
They now have Daniel Marlin.
Aston Villa have a stronger bench than Arsenal. Can you imagine? Aston Villa have a stronger bench than Arsenal.
Do you think Arteta has played a part in this? And is he still the man to lead Arsenal
He has
forward?
played a part. He's part. Pal.
So
I like the last question you asked.
Is he still the man? I'll come to that one.
I don't know why Aston fans always try to run away from that.
No,
question.
me all run.
So come to that. I am interested in that.
No, but he has played a part.
Okay.
He has played a part.
Okay.
For to be trusting someone like Havertz to lead your team up front there. Saying Jimmy, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Trust. Havertz. Yeah. By this time, 2025,
60 million pounds
to come. Do you know they signed him as a midfielder?
Yeah.
And because Gabriel Jesus on they're like, oh, Havertz, please come and be an number 9. Let's see what happens.
Still good German machine.
He scored some couple of goals. Yeah, Havertz can be a number 9. Whilst there are number 9s in the market we could have signed in the summer. Osimhen was fighting with Napoli. He was there for the taking.
He just needed a way out.
We didn't sign him. Gyökeres was there. We could have convinced him with money. We didn't sign him. Now he scored the most goals. He scored the most goals in 2024. Top striker.
I thought you were going for Vlahovic at a point. Just
Vlahovic, But there was also Benjamin Sesko, top guy. Perfect ball striker of the ball. He explained that I have to stay alive one more season. Cool. But Osimhen was there for the taking. Gyökeres was there for the taking. Arteta should have reacted during that transfer window. Signed one of them. And then you can now do your better experiments with Havertz at the midfield. At least you understand. But you made the mistake of not signing a striker. And you were over-reliant on Bukayo Saka. Because Sterling Onyade, what's up? You brought someone on loan, you can't even trust him. And so you have to keep playing Bukayo Saka every day. Bukayo Saka will start. And we've seen the injury.
But why does he keep signing midfielders when the real problem
Please, he keeps signing defenders. Let's say it.
He's bringing in Zubimendi as well.
We are waiting for that one.
Calafiori is in.
Calafiori. I don't understand. I didn't understand his obsession with defenders.
But is he the man?
Is he the man?
Bill has spoken like 3 minutes.
He's avoiding that question. Is he the man to lead Arsenal next season?
By the end of this season, if Arsenal don't win a trophy, I'm sorry, Arteta, please.
If they don't win a trophy.
Which trophy are you talking about?
The only one that we have, Sanchez is Carabao. Newcastle may. But at the end of the season, Arteta, we understand that you have taken Arsenal to a level where they can compete, but please, some decisions you've made, I'm sorry, you are showing that you can't get us over the line. You know there are coaches like that.
Yeah.
That would take you to a level where you see that you just need
Pochettino type.
Yes,
you just can't get you over the line. You just need one. They can improve the team, but they are not title winning.
Yes.
So who would you prefer to come in for and replace Arteta? Just one man. Charlie, think can replace Arteta.
Charlie, at this point, if Real Madrid don't take Xabi Alonso, I beg, come. I beg. Charlie, Xabi Alonso, please. I need you, my club.
You know, the thing about Arteta is that if Arsenal don't win the league, they'll probably be second or third. They'll probably get to Champions League, quarterfinals, semi-final. And I just think it'll be difficult to sack such a manager, right? Because he is too good to be sacked, but then he's also not good enough to take you where you dream to be.
So you are caught in the web.
Between, I don't think, because you see, Arsenal fans have to be appreciative of how far he's brought. But then again, if he doesn't win the league this year and makes Anslot come into this new league and then win. I think it's a very big indictment. To be City's closest rival, and the year City falls, you don't win it. That's not how you do it.
You are saying Arsenal fans should be appreciative. I think they've done that for the last 3 years, but they seem to be running out of patience because this season, for instance, they thought it was going to be their season, especially with City falling, as you said. And it's not to just come from Holland and his first season. He's leading Liverpool to the title. That is what is even infuriating the Arsenal fans. So what's now 4 years? Why
is Mutala talking? What is wrong with Man U?
A lot. What is wrong with
A lot.
Now we know what was wrong with Manchester City. Pep Guardiola was going through marital issues, so we know say he was going through problems. But with Manchester United, I'm begging Ruben Amorim. He looks like a fine man. He doesn't even look like a football person. He looks like someone who is in Hollywood. Like he looks like a fine. No. He looks like. Now I'm talking about the physique. He looks like a Hollywood person, a fine man. You know how Pochettino looks. Pochettino doesn't even look like a coach. Ruben Amorim looks like a fine man. He looks like someone with a lot of prospect. We saw what he did with Sporting. But I'm begging him. He should just revert to fall back, because the kind of players he has at his disposal at the moment are not fit enough for that is a 3-back experiment that he's doing. To save face and save his own CV from not letting Man United go being relegated, what he should do is he should revert to a 4-back system to ensure that at least he keeps teams away from scoring. Because now it is too predictable. You know that in a Manchester United game, one way or the other, they are going to concede. And Onana is not even helping matters at Onana. If I read tabloids in the UK, it looks like Manchester United may never sign a goalkeeper from Africa again. It looks like they may never sign.
So what Richard Ofori would do? Richard Ofori, oh God.
It looks like Manchester United may never delve into the African market to sign a goalkeeper again. Because Onana, he has surprised Manchester United fans with what he did at Inter Milan. The funny thing is, most United fans didn't watch Onana at Inter Milan fully. It was that Champions League final against Manchester City when he was giving those splitting passes. But even at Inter Milan, he had a very strong back four in front of him. Bastoni, Acerbi, Damien, Dumfries. This strong back four, even in the middle. The Shanhoglu, Barella, strong team that protected Onana. So he didn't have to do enough saves. But at Manchester United, he's exposed. And Ruben Amorim's formation is not helping Manchester United as well, because these players are not fit for that task. Maguire doesn't even have the legs to run. Today, if you look at the first goal they conceded, it was even funny. It was just a ball at the top, and because you are playing a 3-back system and you are playing a high line with players who cannot even run. So for him to save face, this is the first time a manager has come to Manchester United since the Sir Alex Ferguson era that people are not really bashing him, but are talking about the players actually. This one, dear. People are saying that this one, dear, it is not the manager. We blame David Moyes because we had Ferguson had left him a very good team before he left. Jose Mourinho came. We bought some of the most expensive players in the world. Pogba, Ibrahimovic, and all that. It didn't work out. Ralf Rangnick, I don't want to go there.
But I forgot to mention Louis van Gaal.
Louis van Gaal came in. He also spends quite an astronomical amount of money. At a point, we had
Di Maria,
Radamel Falcao. We had Rooney. We had Van Persie. We had Di Maria. 4 front, sharp. But he even failed with that. Ralf Rangnick has also come in. We've had a lot of managers come in and spend some crazy money, but it's not work. But this time, Manchester United fans, we have realized that clearly the problem is not the manager. Even though we can say that Eric Ten Hag, some of his substitutions and tactical tweaks were that bad, but this one you can see that Ruben Amorim is trying, but the players are just letting him down. It is not working. Joshua Zexi is not good enough.
9.5.
Whoever paid that 35 million for that boy has done Manchester United a great disservice.
Oh, so what about Hoyland?
the China edition of.
How can you tell us you are a 9.5 striker? A striker who cannot press. A striker. So what is his biggest attribute? Hold up play with his back to go.
9.5.
9.5.
9.5. He's not good enough. Kobe Menu, I like him a lot. He's a talented young player. but Kobe Menu is not really up there. I mean, if you look at the midfielders of the teams that we should be competing with, you look at the Chelsea midfield of Caicedo, even Romeo Lavia. You look at the Arsenal midfield, Thomas Partey, Merino. Kobe Menu is not there yet. Kobe Menu is a very good player. I think he needs a lot to add to his game and a lot that he needs to learn. So we are kind of forcing him to be that top player, but it's not working out. The only player that you can see gives 100% on the field, I think I would go for 3 players.
Ahmad is one.
3 players.
Yes, Ahmad is one, Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte. You can see that Ugarte really fights. Like, he wants to fight, but it's not, the fighting is not fighting because he's always left exposed. How come Manchester United is always left exposed, especially in the middle? It is easily to play through them. And once you bypass Ugarte and you see Maguire, then you start laughing. How can we play a team like Brighton and Hove Albion, who have beaten us in the last 3 meetings, and we play them and we open up, knowing that they have Karu, Mitoma, and Minte? Ooh. Every counter attack that Brighton gets, it leads to something. Ooh. And Onana doesn't help matters as well. We are trying to shield you, and you keep on making these mistakes.
And you are not shielding yourself.
It is not Ruben Amorim. Any Manchester United fan listening to me this evening, Ruben Amorim is not the problem. Ineos must act and act fast. This January, we can't sign big players. I mean, maybe the biggest player you can sign is Osimhen because he wants to come back. Player. He wants to come back to mainstream Europe. That is the only player you can sign. But I am begging Rumi
Top price with the whole land, please.
To revert to a 4-3 system because it looks like that system fits these players more. The 3-back system is actually not working. Okay. If he gets the 2 that he can play that.
Thank you. But the life we say continue about Man U, but he start from Academy 7. Go and talk about the leaking roof. In case you're wondering, Bale has laughed at Manchester United and fallen down.
now to a point they call us Mice FC because mice were detected at Old Trafford and we needed to fumigate the place. Wow, how?
Anyway, Man U,
made me fall.
Hopefully they don't get relegated. But let me come to your guest and we wrap up on this. The Ghana Premier League, it ends round 1. Very unpredictable. I think beginning Gold Stars finish the first half on top. Is this something that you expected? And do you think that they would finish the second round in that manner? Just wrap that up with the performance of Hartlepool and Kotoko and then other key factors on the Ghana Premier League first half. Just quite quickly for us.
Okay, Oreku, if you talk about being Gold Stars, you could tell that what they are doing now is not just by fluke. Looking at the kind of technical team they have, Stephen Fromanson spearheading affairs and then Gordon Ablodi understand also assisting him over there. You look at the points accumulated in the second half of last season, right? And you look at the points accumulated now, it tells you that the Benin Gold Stars is actually continuing something they started in the second part of last season. Because talk about teams who accumulated most points in the second part of last season, and Benin Gold Stars accumulated 29 points. The team that accumulated most was Heart of Lions. They accumulated 30. They come now and they've accumulated the most points, which tells us that first of all, Manso started at Gold Stars, although he lost some players, but he still also made crucial signings to back up what he lost, and that's doing very well for him. And there's a sort of motivation that being a Gold Stars team. If Samatex had been able to win the league, then why can't we win the league? All right. I don't know what extraordinary that Samatex do have that Beyond Gold Stars don't have. Samatex could boast of maybe a Kayeke, but again, Beyond Gold Stars do have a better player, a better leader in Vincent Atenga, who's also doing very well for them. So I think Beyond Gold Stars, only if they do their things well in the second round, I think they could contend. But then it also comes with that pressure, that Ghana Premier League pressure. You get to a point where maybe you get or you suffer from 1 or 2 injuries, and you might not have that squad depth to complement it very well, which also not help you. You look at teams like Heart of Lions, who have now lost 2 games on the bounce. They lost at an Ofusuji Award Park against Mbichem, and then today at home at the Den, against Nations FC, who are also playing around the title contention, but I don't seem to rate them to be part of actual title contention because this is a team coached by one of the very good managers in Ghana football, Kasim Mengo, but seems to find it difficult to play with consistency. The same manager was doing very well at Bichim, but then inconsistency worried him, and it seems to be continuing, although he has got his man in the shape of Emmanuel doing very well for him. You look at the other teams playing around them, especially a team like Katofok, who seems to have gotten the motivation that irrespective of how bad we play on a day, irrespective of how poor we are, we still need to get something from a game, and that's what's carrying them on. Especially looking at how they started the season, they didn't start very well, but then they seem to be picking up the pieces, although they don't play the nicest football in the league. Because you talk about nicest football, and then you tend to look at teams like Vision, who play one of the nicest football, but was battered to the Arabara Sports Stadium, which I think Kotoko also seems to be getting things right with the recruitment in the shape of Kwame Opoku. You see, the Kotoko team in the early stages of the season seems to have everything, especially in the midfield of the pack and in the defensive line. The only problem they seem to be facing in the defensive line was their goalkeeping department, which still is persistent. You look at the team, which has Lord Damo on the right, being backed up by Emmanuel Kote, who has Sama Inogane Gilbani, being partnered with Joseph Ablo, a very fine player, he's very good on the ball, a very good tackler of the ball, and others. You have Patrick Esedu, he's signing from Recum Chelsea, doing very well. When he's going for it, he's very superb. Coming back, he's solid. And in the midfield, especially when you have a leader like Justice Blade, who controls the midfield, he shows the defense. And you have someone who seemed to have not gotten a very good season last season in the shape of Andrews into Menu. He comes this season and it seems he has been gingered in a certain way that has kept him firing on all squares and cylinders. You see into Menu doing very well. His confidence is up high when it comes to the tackles, doing very the interceptions to Pep. He also adds that forward passes to his game. But the only problem they were facing was the center forward position, especially when a team like Kotoko, a big team like Kotoko, is depending on just one striker, who was Alberta Moa. The Kotoko problems in those 5 games came or should I say heightened, especially when they had to miss Alberta Moa in their games, in about 3 games or so. And it would have been worse if they had not signed Kwame Opoku at the time they signed him, because the unfortunate because Alberta Moa is now going to be out for 2 months. But it's also fortunate in a way that they have someone like Kwame Opoku who is also there banging in the goals. He has now played 4 games. In those 4 games, he is even doing better in terms of numbers than Alberta Moa. Now he has 5 goals in 4 games. I think Kwame Opoku is just doing even more than the Kotoko fans expected. I think that's solid. But then if it continues like that in the second half, I think Kotoko could be good title contenders. But it's so good. We might see different teams playing out as well. Teams also fighting for relegation and others the second round. But we still expect to see very beautiful football and nice results.
And just before we go, I guess the 3 teams I think will get relegated.
It is time for Karela. Time for Legon Cities. And then dreams might be unfortunate. Yeah. Yes. It might happen this time.
Let me put up the mic so the people that said But thank you guys. Thank you very much, Billy Shen, and then Mutala and Augustine and Akosia J also for supporting and sacrificing for us as well today. And also for Steve for streaming. And to you at home for listening to us here on Sports on Trace. My name is Ori Kwampafo. You can follow us on social media, 3 Sports GH, as we continue to bring you updates from the remaining games this weekend, as well as next week Champions League returns. We'll be back again next Sunday at 6 p.m. to bring you the latest in the world of sports, as well as the interesting opinions and takes that you heard today.